episode 17. I'm your host, Ron. About to do this again. We got two TV shows we want to talk about. It is LaBrea and American Rust. LaBrea, I believe it's on NBC. Can't even remember. And American Rust is Showtime. So let's go. Let's get into American Rust first. Um, I remember the first episode. It it seemed very slow starting, um, but it built up a pretty good story. Jeff Daniels stars as Del Harris, who is the sheriff, and Maura Tierney, who plays Grace Poe. Also in it is David Alvarez as Isaac English, Julia Mayorga as Lee English, and Alex Newstatter as Billy Poe, and a bunch of others as well to go along with it. Like I said, it started out very slow, but the story was building and building and building, and you can see it happening. But the show has been very interesting as it centers around, a murder of a former cop that Del Harris fires. So, with all of that going on, somebody is implicated who might not necessarily be the guilty party, but all the drama centers around him, and that causes all kinds of problems and issues. But the show moves along pretty well after that first episode, and yeah, it's pretty raw when it comes to like the subjects of murder, and there's a lot of drug use. They don't show the drug use, but it's all implied, and so you get a glimpse of the drug epidemic with opiates in this little town, and it kind of it, it kind of makes people kind of not good in the sense of most of the characters in this story are either drug users or killers or something, and but there is things that go on in the background, like Grace Poe is trying to start a union for the place that she's working at, and now she's getting harassed by her employer, with threats and you know marking up her car, so a lot of vandalism with that. So there's a lot of little stories surrounded by this big story of a murder of a former deputy. So, but all in all, the show is pretty good. Jeff Daniels does look old, so if you're expecting to see that guy that played in Dumb and Dumber, he looks a lot older. Let me tell you. But it's a good show. You should check it out. I believe I'm up to like 6 episodes, so it's pretty good. Almighty Nick, thanks for being here. We just talking about American Rust on Showtime. Actually, just wrapping that up. It's only a little short show, so it's only going to be about 10 minutes. So, but thank you for being there. So we're gonna move on to La Brea, which now 4 episodes in. La Brea Tar Pits, as you should know, is the center location of this show. And at the beginning, you see, like a massive sinkhole forming, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and people are falling in, you know, falling to their doom, and it turns out that they end up surviving in this hole in a place that is, you know, LaBrea tar pits. But I don't want to give too much away, so you know, but that's kind of a little lost like kind of thing happening here. Stars NatalieZea as Eve Harris, um, Ian Maxon as Gavin Harris. Does not look like Ian. Just letting you know. Chike Ogonko as Ty Coleman. Gotta love the names. And John Seda as Dr. Sam Velez. There's also a bunch of other people that are main characters. But all in all, it seems like Eve, Ty, and Sam are the main characters down in this other La Brea Tar Pits area. Um, so they encounter all kinds of things, just like you would think when going back to Lost, how they're experiencing all these things. It's very similar to that kind of setting. However, in this case, and I don't want to spoil it, but I have to. It's more of a time thing. So they fall through this thing. There's this glowing light, and they fall through, and now they're in another time period. So you get to see, stuff like saber-toothed tigers, all kinds of things. So there's a lot of they don't know what's happened to them, and the people you know, above above that that green light hole in normal, time period, they are trying to figure out where the people went to and what that green light is. And the husband of Eve, Gavin Harris, played by Ian Maxon, he has visions of them all being alive, and he is trying to, figure out how to get to them. So it's a little crazy, you know, the premise, but so far it is working pretty well. It's been entertaining. They've been exploring more and more of this area and finding less and less that they actually know. That's what it seems like. So again, it's you get that sense of feeling of lost, but instead of just a vanished island somewhere, it's it's a time loop of some sort or time warp or whatever you want to call it, and it seems to be working. I like the show and I like where it's going. I just hope they don't rush too much of it and like get all the good story done like too soon, because now shows have a tendency to do that and they rush things forward. And so hopefully they take their time, they do it right. If they do it and they promote it and they keep at it, the show can be very successful because it's a really good show right now. But will it dry up after, the first 6 to 10 episodes? I don't know. You just got to hope that the writers know what they're doing. What's up, third mistress? Nice to see you here. So hopefully they don't rush the storyline, because You have some pretty decent actors that could find their way to become stars if the show lasts long enough. That's always the question, is whether a show will last long enough. And we know that the major networks all have a habit of pulling the plug too soon. I think CBS does is the best job on taking care of their shows and making sure that they're right. NBC, ABC, and Fox, they do horribly, and they will give a show, 6 episodes, and it's gone if they don't strike gold in the ratings, and that's not how you're going to grow a show. Because if you're going up against shows like NCIS, that's been number one for 17, 18 years, it's not going to surpass that. And that's what those networks have a difficult time understanding. Case in point, Fox pulling Deputy after 6 episodes last year. And that was their best show on TV. That was their best. And they pulled the plug because it couldn't compete with the other shows at that time. But, you know, give it a chance. Lost didn't succeed in that first year. It didn't overtake anybody's ratings. It had good ratings, but it didn't have, it wasn't number one. That waited till season 2 when it took off. So, Scrong, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So we have two shows that seem to be going in the right direction right now. Um, what do I have? What do I feel more confident about? Being successful 2, 3 seasons. Hey Zeus, what's up, man? Thanks for coming. I feel stronger about American Rust only because it it doesn't have to. Even if this murder storyline ends, they can still go on easily. However, LaBrea, with its situation being in a time warp of some sort, if they try to move the story too fast and it ends, the show ends. So it's basically all up to them on their success. But I feel like American Rust is set up for down the line. But LaBrea is definitely better right now. So if I was to grade them, I would probably say American Rust is a B, and I would say LaBrea is an A minus. But a year from now, it could be the other way around because of the longevity of the storylines. What's up, Dirty Die? Nice to see you here. It's only a little short show where we're going to be heading out actually pretty soon. So again, you are watching us on Rhode Island Broadcasting. So Twitch is twitch.tv/RI_broadcasting. And you can go to YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting and Facebook.com/RI Broadcasting to see us there. Throw us some likes and subs and whatever you have to do. Click the bell on YouTube, and of course share if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook. But so that is LaBrea and Rust. We got some stuff coming up. I was gonna do Halloween Kills today, but I didn't have time because actually I wasn't planning on doing this show today. Um, So I didn't have time to get the cast and everything of Halloween Kills and do my ratings because I've already seen the movie. So that will probably be in next week's show. So watch that one. Um, I'll probably also do another horror movie. I know I watched VHS 94. Don't, little heads up. But I may decide to do that one next week as well. And maybe another movie. So, or the top five horror movies of all time, maybe. So that would be pretty cool. I think that would be nice. So yeah. So other shows that you might want to check out that we have not covered: Chicago Fire. Go back, binge watch all seasons of Chicago Fire. Great show. Another show, of course, I've been raving about is Heels. Episode 8 might have been the best, one of the top 5 episodes I've ever seen on a TV show. There, I said it. On Heels. All about wrestling. Top 5 episodes all time. That's how much I loved it. It was amazing. So, yeah. Turd Mistress. I love Chicago PD and Chicago Med. I'm a big Chicago Fire fan. Um, I watched the others a little bit, but Chicago Fire is so good. Yeah, so Almighty Nick, if you like wrestling, you need to check out Heels and Almighty Nick. We got our wrestling show coming up after me, so you might want to stick around and watch that later, in probably about 15 minutes from now. So, I'll be watching Chicago Fire. Chicago Fire is so good. I just watched the recent episode that's supposed to air next week. I got to see it early. I love IPTV. I love it. I love it. I get to see everything. I don't miss anything. Other shows. Let me see. What other shows have I been watching? Binge watching. Of course, I watched Survivor. I love that show. Um, Titans, Teen Titans. There, the new show. Well, I guess it just started last year, I believe. I started watching that. So, oh yeah, the main actor Stephen Amell, Green Arrow. In case you don't know who Stephen Amell is, fantastic. He's fantastic. He was great in Green Arrow. By far the best of all the hero TV shows, all of them, including Loki, including Captain Falcon and the Winter, whatever his name, whatever it is. You know, it's better than those. Green Arrow was amazing. So binge watch that if you haven't seen it, but then you have to start watching some of the other stuff. It's been on Netflix for a while, so I'm a little behind. I just started watching it, so far I do like it. It's pretty interesting. Um, but that's it for today. I'm gonna head on out. I got another show to run. So we got we got a lot of stuff that we can still cover this year. We got a lot. We got stuff coming out. Oh, the Batman coming up next year, maybe, depending on strikes. So, Turd Mistress, thank you for those bits. Always appreciated. I am Ron. It's time to head on out. Thank you guys for all showing up and making this wonderful. I will see you next time. Take care.